Hello, YouTube. Shut up, dog. It is 9:25 p.m. Monday, December 20th, 2021. I don't feel like I've had the most productive day, but it hasn't been as dysfunctional as previous days. The earlier video was more stuff about Randolph Road, which I'm sure nobody gives a shit about. But someday, I'm gonna someday that footage, and I swear to God, I'm gonna make a documentary about that road. That will be the authoritative documentary on it. Because one of these years, I am gonna go down and find some historic maps. I kind of know where to do that. I used to hang out at the State Archives Library at the state capitol, and it's been a long time since I've been there. So honestly, I was kind of tempted to wander in there when I was there at that protest a couple of weeks ago, just to see if there was anybody that still worked there from the days when I used to hang out there as a place to be and something to do, which kind of coincided with my period of homelessness after my divorce. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting records to be found there, and I would imagine I can probably find some maps or some official aerial photographs that actually have Randolph Road on it. So anyway, that was a minor waste of time, but it was a fun diversion. I was on my way to Pack and Store, or I'm sorry, U Store. I still always struggle with things that change names, and I don't know why that is so much, but there's one of the YouTube channels that I'm subscribed to, and I forget the name of it, but it's one that kind of it's a guy that has high functioning autism, also known as Asperger's syndrome. And in fact, I think the channel's called Living with Asperger's, if memory serves. But he just recently did a really good video, which admittedly I only watched maybe about the first 3 minutes of, and I'm like, I want to get back to this one. Don't have time for this video right now. I don't want to get back to it. Where he was talking about how that affects memory. And I've had some interesting discussions with my daughter about that, and how being that I am, am I on the autism scale? That's debatable, but I'm definitely not neurotypical. That's for certain. And so yeah, I definitely experience memory and process memories different than normal people do. That's something I'm very keenly aware of. And so, I'm not sure. Anyway, one thing we've discussed is that basically I have, like, my short-term memory it varies, and it's not good. It's not unusual for me to be talking about something and absolutely forget what it was I was talking about. It just happens. Like I it's crazy. I can remember things that happened 40 years ago with vivid clarity and details that to the normal person would seem completely irrelevant, as long as they're the kind of details that I was interested in, such as what record label a record that I saw in a store was on, or what the curb was shaped like in a general place. I'm just like, why do I pay attention to that sort of shit? I don't know, but I do. I notice the shapes of the curves. I noticed when they started changing the driveways in Phoenix. Those things I notice. But certain things, like names, when names change.
Your money, motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm sorry, brother.